And we're off to the races. Ladies and gentlemen, I am super beyond stoked, taken aback because I have a great artist, great singer. This guy's a young man. He's been doing quite a bit of buzz throughout Southern Cal and across all the regions. International, probably by now, well known since he's on TikTok. And if I may add, he has 1.1 million TikTok followers. He's amassed a wealth of knowledge in terms of the people that follow him, the music that he's made. He's got albums such as Chronicles of the Darkest Hour, and that was released way back in Valentine's Day. But it's got to be, it's the tone of this particular album is quite amazing, because it's got dark elements and you know what, but it's like crooners, meets like something like out of Frank Sinatra, jazz, a little bit of pop sprinkled. Ladies and gentlemen, this man you might know from season 14 of The Voice. My God, I am completely enamored with his music, his sound, his voice. He's an old soul. Let's give it up for Austin Giorgio. There he is.
Hey, Jim, you're a sweetheart, man. Thanks for having me on here, truly.
The man of the hour, dude. I've been itching and chomping at the bit to have you on. I know right now you're on your way to Disneyland, right?
I'm on my way to your place. We're going to be there in 30.
I know. Well, don't worry. We got a slew of meat already all laid out and ready to burn on the burners and ready to go, man. We're gonna fire it up like we normally do here in the valley. The valley, it's so hot you can just put the food out and it just cooks on its own. Easily 115 on a normal day.
Scrambled eggs in a couple minutes.
Yeah, no joke. I'm trying to like it's unbelievable. Your name, Austin. Like, were your parents in love and then they made love and then you came out, shot out, and in Austin, Texas, while your dad was wearing Giorgio Armani. I mean, your name reads like a legend, in the making. And let me just say, man, it's a really rad name you got, brother. As we would say in the 80s, I'm dating myself. Go ahead.
I'll get the hell out of here. Dude, I appreciate it, really. Thankful for my parents giving me that name. But
Badass
honestly, I would
name.
have still been doing music even if my name was Ranch or something. But no,
But
I really I've been having a ball doing it. We've been on the road for a couple weeks now, and we're excited to come play LA on
yeah,
Thursday, the
that's right.
24th.
Don't
I don't know
worry,
when this
because
is airing.
don't worry. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this ASAP tomorrow. And as you can see, my podcast welcomes you, and it has all the information for anyone that wants to know where you're going to be playing. It's right there. It's at 424. You get your tickets, the Hotel Cafe in Hollywood. So I got everything already straightened out and ready to go,
Dude,
baby.
you're ready to go. I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, man.
You,
um I very few times, like, I was listening to your music and it's got like this dark wave sound. How would you characterize your sound per se?
you kind of hit it on the head. I definitely grew up on a lot of like the American songbook, like the jazz
Okay.
music, but then I got into a lot of different stuff, thankfully, because of my sister and just, culture. And in the early 2000s, I got into a lot of R&B. Um,
Fantastic.
so I was like 13 years old listening to like Bow Wow, thinking I'm gonna find love in the club. Uh, I was like learning how to ride a bike still. But
Right.
yeah, so that
Nice.
kind of gets me to the sound of it's like black tie music. It's dark. It's not evil. It's not sad.
No.
It's supposed to be like James Bond feeling, I
With
guess.
a right, very melodic. It's almost like a Wes Anderson film.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love Wes Anderson films.
yeah,
Yeah, hey,
yeah.
what a compliment.
There you go. So let's go throw back into time. This is season 14. You're on under no less Blake Shelton's team, bro. How does that feel, man? You know?
Oh man, it
Wow.
honestly, if I can't even remember yesterday, so to go back so far, I don't even
Right, right.
remember. I just know I had fun, and I
Yeah.
was thankful that they kept letting me keep going because I was not an artist back then. I was just singing karaoke, surrounded by incredible artists. So. it's
Right.
only
No,
been in the past like 4 years really that I found my sound, and like finally found my groove, you know?
sure. But you had not been to LA. Have you ever been to LA? Because you are now on stage on The Voice, you know? Like, had
Yeah.
you been to LA? I mean, that's gotta be, it's gotta leave an impression on you, man.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean, I was really in it. There was just, you got to meet a lot of people. You got paid to be there. You got free food. It was a ball, and got to see LA. I never been to LA but prior to that. So I was,
And there was, go ahead.
well, I would just say I was overwhelmed with, new things, you know? So it was definitely fortunate for that experience many
Now
moons ago.
you chose Marvin Gaye. How sweet it is to be what?
Loved by You.
There
Yeah.
you go. Yeah.
That was
You
a good song. That was fun. Man,
and go ahead.
oh, no, no. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say why that song for the audition.
Say it one more time. It cut out. I'm so sorry.
Why that song specifically that song in particular? What drew to you that song? I'm gonna go with this song.
And I'm not good at lying, so I'm gonna be terrible. Stuff related to that, I
Yeah,
genuinely don't even remember. It was so long ago. I just remember whatever they let me do, I was like, yes. Um,
yeah,
but I grew up on a lot of stuff though. I did love
yeah.
Motown, um,
Jazz, right? You like Ella
for sure.
Fitzgerald, Billie Holiday,
Yeah. Oh, I loved
Coltrane?
Ella. Yeah, yeah. That was great.
Good stuff. Your dad. Now let's back up a little bit. You owned your own business at the, let's see, tender age of 17, when most kids are just trying to figure out, should I go to school today or should I skip school? You were already running a business, helping run a business. And what kind of business are we talking about?
I wasn't exempt from that. I also had those thoughts of skipping school. But yeah, I was like, I've always loved antiques, which makes sense with the music. And
Mhm.
so at the time I was selling a lot of like refurbished antique bicycles. So when I was 17, I realized I had to go on social media to kind of help stir up business for these bikes and these inventions I was making for them and blah blah blah. And uh, funny enough, I would post singing videos online. My mom would encourage me to sing the songs
Yeah.
because my dad's a jazz singer, and I would sing
Wow.
these songs, and I would hope that like the time era of that song would correlate to whatever Schwinn I was selling, or Raleigh, and people like the singing more than the bikes.
Right. So that's hence how you make the leap into music. Um,
That is,
that's
yeah.
amazing. But now, did you see some real money at an early age, or and did you think, I'm gonna go from this business to the music business? And most definitely, I like the idea that I'm making money and I could make loads of it. Or what drew you to actually really consider music as your bread and butter, so to speak?
Um, money has never been a motivator for why I do it. The things like for bicycles, it was just the fascination of uh the stories behind these bikes and like meeting
Mhm.
people. And of course, it was like a mile marker of like, wow, I'm
Right,
making a good buck at 18 selling bikes in this. But it was more of like the story. And then music, I never in a million years would have thought I'd be in the music business. Um, which is funny enough to even think that. But uh, it was more of a slow, hard headed progression into it because I resisted it for a while, because there was no blueprint for me. Like
right,
bicycles, I come from a family of antiques. My father was always in the sales world, so I kind of knew that. Whereas nobody in my family was heavy in the industry. They played, had a lot of great singers and players in my family, but I
right.
couldn't lean on anybody to be like, hey, how do I do this? So I've always, I remember even as a kid making stuff. Like I've always been very hands-on and wanting to build something myself. Um, and it
But
just
you are building, my man, an empire, just so you know.
it
Entrepreneur. You're an entrepreneur that's doing quite a bit because, you know, music nowadays, you're delving into a new world in which you kind of sort of have your own creative you kind of have your own creative network. You decide and choose what song from a catalog is going to be, out there versus what in the olden days, the conglomerates or the big companies would advise you. This is how it's going to go. We kind of own you. So no one owns you, and that's fantastic. And now Spotify, you get to make money from Spotify. Isn't that correct? And you have, my man, an impressive amount of folks on Spotify. You get 1.8 million monthly listeners, which, boy, you this is I bet you're making little by little, you're doing okay when it comes to monetary, wise, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I'll say this. It's like 20% me and 80% everyone else because there are a million things that people could be focusing their time and energy on. I'm just lucky enough that my music got caught in the crossfire
Yeah,
and they like it enough to keep it going.
beautifully
And
said.
I think being on tour really has helped me tap into I already recognize like what truly kind of what a privilege it is to be in the position I'm in, but also how this music like reaches other people and how like
Unbelievable.
you and I could listen to the same song and have very different contextual backgrounds to it, even though
Right.
the song could be just the two of us, right? That song.
Mhm. Yeah,
That might bring you back to
it hits
your
you differently,
mother,
right? It
something.
does hit you
To
different.
me, it's being drunk with friends on that one summer vacation. Like that's what's mind blowing to me is with my music is meeting everybody on the road has been the most rewarding part of hearing how the song becomes soundtracks to so many different memories in ways
For
I'll never know. Only ways that I just get told in those, minute at meet and greets.
What's the lyrics? I mean, needless to say, written tons of great songs. A lot of them are fantastic, doing really well on TikTok, by the way. And what lyrics would you say that you've written that you're really like most proud of to date?
Um, First up, sorry, I always have a million thoughts. I just gotta say, dude, I love your energy, brother. I can tell you're such a great hang. You're a good dude. Um,
Thanks, buddy.
but
I'm a
but
Pisces. We tend to
oh,
born in March, early March. I'm a young soul. It's the
let's
opposite.
go, but hey,
Good.
happy
Thank you,
belated to
brother.
you.
Thank you, man.
What was the question? Oh, the lyric,
Yeah, so the
favorite
song,
lyric.
like what song? Yeah, like what song have you written like as of to date that you really really like? Like, there's always a song that most artists, dude, one of my favorites or one of your favorites that you've written. Like this is the one song that just hits me every time. I just love this song.
Oh, I think as of late stuff that's released, probably. I really like, to be honest with you, I really like Ghost of You. Because it took a different meaning. And what I mean by that is, I wrote that song with a friend of mine, Andrew Capra and Chris Sly,
Very
and
cool.
we originally started that song as, "Hey, I'd like to make a rock record on this project," and I don't want it to be a
Love rock.
breakup song.
Mhm.
I want the idea of a lingering, that lingering. I can never attain you again. I can never replicate what we once had, and then it hit me. This was the first time a song ever changed its meaning to me down the road. I think it was a couple months after I was listening to "I Left My Heart in San Francisco" by Tony Bennett, and I
What a
know kind of
song.
like the loose background of that. And "Ghost of You" in my head, it means, again, it means different things to different people. But in my head, it's almost a story of somebody losing their spouse. Or partner, whether it was because of shame or what came to me was a story about two men together, and the one was shameful and not as open as his partner. And I just thought, like, I couldn't imagine that weight. Like, I couldn't imagine losing somebody that felt so unseen. Uh, and that song took a different life for me. I was like, wow, it was like very moving. So
Good to-
I think that one as of late.
Wow. And so tell us some of the people that are going to be watching this, what to expect. What kind of songs are you going to sing on the 24th? Let's put this up here so they know where you're going to be singing at the Hollywood Cafe, right? Or cafe,
Y-
hotel
y- y-
cafe.
Yeah, we'll be singing the well, and just by the way, to preface back on what I was saying, for anybody that is watching this, that feels like they're
Get
trying
your
to find
tickets.
themselves, you're no, not even that. I've been talking about ghost of you. Just know, like, you are good how you are, and just you don't owe an explanation to anybody. So there's that, and then the second thing is we're gonna be playing all the record songs. We're gonna be doing all the whole album, some of the songs that originally kind of kick-started my this, this sound, and then we'll throw in a couple little throwback ones. So
Very
it'll be
cool.
fun.
Let's talk about real quick because I know I wanted to cover so much, so I'll probably have to have you hop on for part two. But let's talk about book talk. You've amassed, you're quite viral on that. How does that work? Because I'm new to this book talk.
In what way? What do you mean? Does it work?
Like the whole book talk. It's like tick. Is it tick like TikTok of sorts? It's this sort of is it like an app of sorts? The book talk.
I see. No, it's literally just an imaginary group of. It's just a community of people. It's not a real tangible
Get it?
app. It's just
Tangible. Okay.
people on TikTok. There's also Bookstagram. It's just like-minded people on the
Right.
platform.
Yeah.
That's dubbed that. Yeah, I discovered BookTok a few years ago. They essentially kidnapped me, and because I was writing this music just honestly, I was so focused on work. I was like losing touch of my own personal intimacy and relationships. So I was writing these songs to help myself kind of get back in the headspace of like, all right, I need to remember to do these things. I can't get lost, in all this. And
Yeah.
people on Book Talks are like, this reminds me of a book I'm reading. And I'm thinking, I got to
Beautiful.
read these books. What book are you reading? And I'm so
You're like,
fortunate
let's get
because
on the same page. No pun
yeah,
intended.
literally.
Mhm.
Yeah. And what an incredible group of people. And I
Wow.
think the best part for myself is I've learned so many different things just even reading these books, whether it's through my personal life, obviously, that we're talking about, but also the storylines and the writing in these books are just immaculate. Uh,
Impressive.
yeah, I was a reader when I was younger. I read a lot, and then I did a lot of
Good.
self help business books
Oh,
during college,
Tony
and then
Robbins,
now I'm
baby.
yeah, that
Guilty as
type of
charged.
stuff. Guilty as yeah, you're looking in the mirror saying I'm gonna make it today.
That's
That type
right.
of stuff, like
Love it.
I think those are fantastic. So now I'm in a new chapter of my life of these fun fiction, whether it's dark romance, fairies. It's all great.
Um, I think that this old school charm that you have with the modern twist, I find that fascinating, man. I think it's great. Um, because we're like in so many ways, a lot of us have that nostalgia of like growing up with certain artists, crooners, and then that plus the new soul and the R&B. I think it's fantastic. Great fusion. I think also when you touch people differently, I'm talking about, you just finished talking about this book talk. You enlightened me because I had no idea that all this was going on in the TikTok world, this community of the people coming together. And then your songs as a result, they live on through these books, I suppose. And some of these people, they can sort of, juxtapose or put them together and say, look, this is what I mean, what I love. And so it's fascinating how impactful your music could be, like you just finished talking about. I think that's really awesome. So needless to say, I mean, like you're doing really well. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Um, and it's so tough to say. I guess in my musical space, I think the mission is to just help remind people of a few things. Not that I'm the teacher, but they'll help teach themselves. Of remember that you are sexy and like you deserve all the good things in life. Turn into each other when you're going through hard relationships. It's easier always to leave than to turn into love. So I hope some of these songs are subtle reminders and little, pennies in the piggy
Like
bank of maybe
little
I should
nuances.
talk talk this through. And more importantly, too, I just hope people, we got one life. In 100 years, we're all gone. I just want to be a positive impact on this journey with everybody. You know.
Love it. Um, Do you start with like your with a melody or your lyrics, or what comes first? What comes before? Is it just one chaotic thing, like, or you get into a headspace of this is how I got to write, or how do you write a song? What's the process, the thinking process? What goes into writing a song for you? What does that look like?
Yeah, it's so different, truly. I'd say the average song on my end, at least, I write down lyrics all the time, so I have a note in my iPhone with thousands of ideas and stuff, and then I normally will start producing my own music. I'll get the vibe, and then I'm like, all right, I want to write a song that feels like this what I'm making. That's
Mm,
when I'll start writing lyrics, and then I've learned along the way it is always better in every aspect. I feel like to bring more people on. It's always better to have more people at the table. So now I'm surrounding myself with incredible writers, producers, and really just trying to make the best music and help everybody else, add a feather to their cap of let's do this
right.
together. You
That's
know,
beautiful. It's always all I've heard since we started talking is a collaborative, collective amalgamation of people coming together, helping one another, and that's beautiful. It's speaks volume of the kind of upbringing you had and what was inculcated into you early on. So hats off to you, man, and kudos for thinking about things as a whole. So like it's not just monetary. I learned that to you, it's if you can help impact somebody's life, it could change somebody in some way, shape, or form. You've done your job. So it goes. It's like you're very profound in so many ways, and that is beautiful, man. Because it's a dying art, if you know what I mean. Like a lot of people, it's the means to an end, instead of like you really, when you create a song, you create it, and then people will take different meanings from it. That's a true artist, and it's kind of like the old school way, if you will, and you kind of personify that class, and you think about others, you're selfless, and that is fantastic. um, so I wanted to talk real quick because I know we're gonna jump off here in a second, but we've covered a lot of ground in such a short period of time. I told you so. um, so what do you tell a young person that's aspiring to be a singer or musician that's sitting in a high school classroom perhaps and just sort of pondering, and where do I start? How would they start? I mean, auditioning, is it how do you know that you really got a good voice? Who tells you, hey, I have a great voice? How does one start?
well, before I answer that, I just want to say thanks so much. That was really kind of you to say earlier, and the same to be said to you. Like I said earlier, I could tell, man, you're such a great guy. Like you just radiate positivity. I know we all listen behind
Likewise.
every smile. There's struggles, but you're a great dude, truly.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Um, for
Right
artists
back
and
to you.
like anybody, I don't know if there is a one size fits all. I guess if I had a cousin and I was like personally trying to help them, I would say like learn 20, 30 songs that are again depending on what type of music you want to make, but learn 20, 30 songs, go buy a piano amp, a microphone, an XLR cable, and see if some restaurants will let you sing in the corner for a couple hours. That'll probably help you.
That's fabulous. Um, last one final thought, and thank you for that. It means a lot that you said a couple of times. You mentioned some of my qualities. I appreciate you, man. And yeah, we
Of
got to
course.
extend this invitation again. Hopefully, I can make it out to Hollywood on the 24th, and then we can meet in person. I meet your folks and shake their hand. I got a 21-year-old son at LMU, doing
Good for
fantastic.
you.
Wow, man, a good kid, good head on his shoulders, and it's all about how you raise your kids. And I really love what I was hearing because it really comes from good parents. Because you basically, I mean, we're a reflection of our parents. One last final thought, because you got to go. You're gonna jump off real quick. Um, so let's talk about real quick your social media handles. Very important.
Yeah, your
What are
son's
your?
lucky to have you.
Thank
Um,
you. I'll tell James
and
Matthews.
congrats. Yeah, congratulations to him too. Going through it all, college is not easy. Um, you can, they can find me online. It's my name backwards because I couldn't get the original handle, so it's Giorgio Austin. Um,
Okay.
That's probably the best way to find me. And then as for the show, I honestly don't even know if tickets are available anymore, but if there are, I would love to see people. And if you're coming, please let me know. If you don't have my personal number, I can send it to you. And just,
Yeah, please
I'd love to
do.
see you.
Okay, I'd love that too. So you went from 252K to 257K. Just to, just to update you in case you didn't know. That's how
Oh,
many
that's awesome.
followers, and it's just growing. So it's an ever growing thing. So yeah, just have your camp send it to Anna and she'll forward that to me. It's been nothing but a pleasure. I am beyond grateful to have you on the show. Please feel free to reach out when you're in LA. Look me up. We can hang out and do a couple of live videos on my YouTube. Otherwise, I will be dropping this quite soon. I will let your team know as soon as I know. It shouldn't be that long. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your trip. God bless you in every possible way. You have blessed me with your graces, your good graces, and the fact that you have so much wisdom beyond your years, my man. So,
Hey,
without
thanks for
that,
taking time to chat. It's been a pleasure talking with you. I
yeah,
hope to see you soon.
great, good combo, man. We had a great combo here. All right, brother.
Oh my God, yeah.
Peace out.
Okay,
Take care.
be well, my friend. We'll see you.
Thank you so much. Austin, Giorgio, ladies and gentlemen. We'll talk to you soon, my man. All the best to
We'll
you.
see.
God
We'll
bless.
see you.
You bet.